Welcome back to the Trading Post. This here is, let me check again. This is Lost Treasures Episode 2, Yamashita's Treasure. This is about roughly a 70-year-old legend. I'm Fred Martin, and this here is our boy, Noodle, the star of the show. Tell him, Noodle. Tell him hi, buddy. Oh, you got them hiccups again, don't you, bud? I'm sorry. Shouldn't be partying so hard. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, hang on, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and take care of him, and I'll be right back. I promise. All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and jump into this. This is an interesting subject, you know. Like, I came across it. There was an episode on the History Channel, okay? I was kind of brushing through some of the stuff, trying to make small notes. And then I think I went off of Wikipedia for the rest of the other information. But I'm going to touch up on the History Channel stuff after we go ahead and go through the Wikipedia. All right? And we'll go ahead and go through that, try to tie some things up. Maybe we can come to a conclusion on what we think about this or that, whatever. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started on this. I don't want to drag you guys out too long. But this is Yamashita's gold, and it's also referred to as Yamashita's treasure. Is the name given to the alleged war loot stolen in Southeast Asia by Imperial Japanese forces during World War II and supposedly hidden in caves, tunnels, or underground complexes in different cities in the Philippines. Okay. It was named after Japanese General Tomoyuki Yamashita, my words ran together, dubbed as the Tiger of Malaya, who conquered Malaya within 70 days from the British. Though there are accounts that claim the treasure remains hiding in the Philippines, or hidden in the Philippines, and have lured treasure hunters from around the world for over 50 years. Its existence has been dismissed by most experts. The rumored treasure was the subject of a complex lawsuit that was filed in a Hawaiian state court in 1988 involving a Filipino treasure hunter, Rogelio Roxas, and the former Philippine president, Ferdinand Marcos. Okay? Now, prominent among those who have argued for the existence of Yamashita's gold are Sterling Seagrave and his wife Peggy Seagrave, who wrote 2 books related to the subject: The Yamato Dynasty, The Secret History of Japan's Imperial Family in 2000, and Gold Warriors, America's Secret Recovery of Yamashita's Gold, 2003. The Seagraves contend that looting, including more than 6,000 tons of gold, was organized on a massive scale by both Yakuza gangsters such as Yoshio Kodama and the highest levels of Japanese society, including Emperor Hirohito. The Japanese government intended that loot from Southeast Asia would finance Japan's war effort. The Seagraves allege that Hirohito appointed his brother Prince Yasuhito Chikabu to head a secret organization named Kin no Yuri, or Golden Lily, after a poem that the Emperor Hirohito had written. It is purported that many of those who knew the locations of the loot were killed during the war or later tried by the Allies for war crimes and executed or incarcerated. Yamashita himself was convicted of war crimes and executed by the United States Army on February 23, 1946, in Los Banos, Laguna, the Philippines. According to the Seagraves, numerous Golden Lily vaults were found by Edward Lansdale and Severino Garcia Diaz, Santa Romana, in caves north of Manila in the high valleys and the M Fund, which was named after Major General William Marquette, was established from Santa Romano and Lansdale's work. Okay. Now, Sterling Seagrave alleged that Santa Romana, or Santi, tortured Yamashita's driver, Major Kojima Kashi, to obtain the probable locations of the loot. The Seagraves wrote that Lansdale flew to Tokyo and briefed MacArthur, and his chief of intelligence, Charles Willoughby, later flew to the United States to brief Clark Clifford and returned with Robert Anderson to inspect several caves in the Philippines with Douglas MacArthur. More than 170 tunnels and caves were found. Ray Klein believes that both Robert Anderson and Paul Hellawell created 176 black gold banking accounts in 42 countries after moving the loot by ship to support future United States operations. The stolen property reportedly included many different kinds of valuables looted from banks, depositories, other commercial premises, museums, private homes, and religious buildings. It takes its name from General Tomoyuki Yamashita, who assumed command of the Japanese forces in the Philippines in 1944. According to the various accounts, the loot was initially concentrated in Singapore and later transported to the Philippines. The Japanese hoped to ship the treasure from the Philippines to the Japanese home islands after the war ended. As the war in the Pacific progressed, United States Navy submarines and Allied warplanes inflicted increasingly heavy sinkings of Japanese merchant shipping. Some of the ships carrying the war booty back to Japan were sunk in combat. Okay, that makes sense. Wartime, ships get sunk, you know. So that makes sense. But let's continue on, you guys. This one here may not be that long of an episode, but, you know, we'll try and give you enough context on this episode to at least get an idea as to what's going on. And there is a show, which I will tell you about, on the History Channel, that you can check out, which actually I think it's on Roku channel. That might be where I saw it from. But anyways, okay. The Seagraves and a few others have claimed the American military intelligence operatives located much of the loot. They colluded with Hirohito and other senior Japanese figures to conceal its existence, and they used it as black gold to finance American covert intelligence operations around the world during the Cold War. Now, these rumors have inspired many hopeful treasure hunters, but most experts and Filipino historians say there is no credible evidence behind these claims. In 1992, Imelda Marcos claimed without evidence that Yamashita's gold accounted for the bulk of the wealth of her husband, Ferdinand Marcos. Okay, that's interesting. Many individuals and consortia, both Philippine and foreign, continue to search for treasure sites. A number of accidental deaths, injuries, and financial losses incurred by treasure hunters have been reported. The National Museum of the Philippines is responsible for the issuance of treasure hunting permits and licenses. Now, in March of 1988, a Filipino treasure hunter named Rogelio Roxas filed a lawsuit in the state of Hawaii against the former president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos, for theft and human rights abuses. Roxas claimed that in Baguio in 1961 he met the son of a former member of the Japanese army who mapped for him the location of the legendary Yamashita treasure. Roxas claimed a second man who served as Yamashita's interpreter during World War II told him of visiting an underground chamber there where stores of gold and silver were kept, and who told of a golden Buddha kept at a convent located near the underground chambers. Roxas claimed that within the next few years, he formed a group to search for the treasure and obtained a permit for the purpose from a relative of Ferdinand, Judge Pio Marcos. In 1971, Roxas claimed he and his group uncovered an enclosed chamber on state lands near Baguio, where he found bayonets, samurai swords, radios, and skeletal remains dressed in a Japanese military uniform. Also found in the chamber, Roxas claimed, were a 3-foot-high golden-colored Buddha and numerous stacked crates which filled an area approximately 6 foot by 6 foot by 35 feet. Wow, that's a lot of treasure, y'all. That's a big area. He claimed he opened just one of the boxes and found it packed with gold bullion. He said he took from the chamber the golden Buddha, which he estimated to weigh 1,000 kilograms, and one box with 24 gold bars, and hid them in his home. He claimed he resealed the chamber for safekeeping until he could arrange the removal of the remaining boxes, which he suspected were also filled with gold bars. Roxas said he sold 7 of the gold bars from the open box and sought potential buyers for the golden Buddha. 2 individuals representing prospective buyers examined and tested the metal in the Buddha. Roxas said and reported it was made of solid 20-karat gold. It was soon after this Roxas claimed that President Ferdinand Marcos learned of Roxas's discovery and ordered him arrested, beaten, and the Buddha and remaining gold seized. Roxas alleged that in retaliation to his vocal campaign to reclaim the Buddha and the remainder of the treasure taken from him, Ferdinand continued to have Roxas threatened, beaten, and eventually incarcerated for over a year. Wow, this guy can't catch a break, man. That's tough. Okay. Following his release, Roxas put his claims against Marcos on hold until Ferdinand lost the presidency in 1986. But in 1988, Roxas and the Golden Buddha Corporation, which now held the ownership rights to the treasure Roxas claims was stolen from him, filed suit against Ferdinand and wife Imelda in a Hawaiian state court, seeking damages for the theft and the surrounding human rights abuses committed against Roxas. Roxas died on the eve of trial, but prior to his death, he gave the deposition testimony that would be later used in evidence. In 1996, the Roxas estate and the Golden Buddha Corporation received what was then largest judgment ever awarded in history, $22 billion, which with interest increased to $40.5 billion. In 1998, the Hawaiian Supreme Court held that there was sufficient evidence to support the jury's findings that Roxas found the treasure and that Marcos converted it. However, the court reversed the damage award, holding that the $22 billion award of damages for the chamber full of gold was too speculative, as there was no evidence of quantity or quality, and ordered a new hearing on the value of the Golden Buddha and 17 bars of gold only. After several more years of legal proceedings, the Golden Buddha Corporation obtained a final judgment against Imelda Marcos to the extent of her interest in the Marcos estate in the principal amount of $13,275,848.37. And Roxas's estate obtained a $6 million judgment on the claim for human right abuse. This lawsuit ultimately concluded that Roxas found a treasure. And although the Hawaiian State Court was not required to determine whether their particular treasure was the legendary Yamashita's gold, the testimony relied upon by the court in reaching its conclusion pointed in that direction. Roxas was allegedly following a map from the son of a Japanese soldier, Roxas allegedly relied on tips provided from Yamashita's interpreter, and Roxas allegedly found samurai swords and the skeletons of dead Japanese soldiers in the treasure chamber. All this led the United States Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal to summarize the allegations, leading to Roxas's final judgment as follows. Pardon me. The Yamashita treasure was found by Roxas and stolen from Roxas by Marco's men. In December 1969, rumors spread that the gold bars had been found in the mountains about 40 kilometers away from Manila. Sorry, you guys. I'm having a tough time. In June 2018, local police arrested 17 people, including 4 Japanese, including a 15-year-old boy and 13 Filipinos, for illegal mining on Capone's Island for treasure. That's all that had on there. Let me stop that for now. Okay, you guys. Now this is about the video I watched. Like I said, it's called Lost Gold of World War II on the History Channel. It was actually on, I think, Roku channel when I watched it. But they said, you know, according to this team of investigators, let's just say investigators, archaeologists, professionals, experts, they went to Luzon Island in the Philippines. Okay, they went there, and they said, you know, of course, it's a World War II lost treasure. Yamashita's gold is a lost treasure. Okay, supposedly, from what they heard and what lore and conspiracy theories, things like that, they say that there's supposedly gold, weapons, top secret documents that could be vital for war effort. That was, you know, was supposed to be in this loot, in this treasure. Okay. They also talk about the Black Eagle Trust Fund, which I got to look into that a little more. But they also said MacArthur, Truman, and Churchill knew about the treasure. They had an eyewitness, which was a local farmer. Okay, he's known as Grandpa in that area. Now, he was only like, I think he was like, said he was like 12 years old when this happened, when he remembers seeing all this stuff. But, you know, he witnessed some things, and we'll get into that here in a minute, but I'm going to go down through some of the quick notes that I wrote on this show. According to as far as them looting and how they got this, all right, you got to understand, this is at a point in the war where they realize they're losing the war. Okay, so, you know, they're doing basically the same thing that Germany did in Hitler and the Germans. And now they're looting banks, depositories, all these things. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. So this is where they get a lot of this stuff, because you got to understand, when you're in wartime like this, and you had the Germans, you know, on the one side, right, and they're pillaging and looting all these banks and whatever else, and they're just like a wave, like a storm, you know, coming through. Well, what's people going to do that's in Europe and, you know, whatever? What are they going to do to get rid of their funds? Like, if they're wealthy people and they want to keep their wealth, they don't want to lose their assets, they don't want to lose whatever jewelry that might have been in the family for generations, whatever. They're going to send it to banks. Where are they going to? So evidently, a lot of them, what they're doing is they was sending their valuables over into Asia, and, you know, in areas like that, and putting them into banks over there for safekeeping. Well, what ends up happening is Yamashita and the Japanese on that side, they're pillaging and looting. They're taking shit from the banks. They're taking all their stuff out of the banks that they put in there for safekeeping, so no one would take it from that side. So you got to figure they're getting it from both sides here. You know, it's a bad situation, but that's, you know, they was spoils of war, I guess. You know, it's sad that a lot of people lost. I mean, it really is sad. There was a lot of people lost a lot of stuff on that. A lot. Lost their lives, lost their homes, lost family members. They lost a lot. It's insurmountable, the price they've paid. You know, and it's sad. Okay, but let's go ahead and move on here. I don't want to get, you know, too crazy with that. But anyways, General Tomoyuki Yamashita is his name. Okay, and you know, as I said prior, after the war he was tried and executed. He was commander of the 14th Area Army. This is some of the stuff they said. He used prisoners of war to bury the treasure. Also, I don't know, because there's that theory, you know, but they knew there was a lot of Japanese military that was there. So did they really have prisoners of war with them? I don't think they did, according to the eyewitness grandpa. But then again, like I said, he was only 12 years old when it happened, so maybe he wasn't able to differentiate, you know. But you'd think at 12 years old you're going to kind of know between sorry, my nose is itching. My God, I think my allergies are acting up. My God. Anyways, here's another statistic. They said there was 175 treasure sites in the Philippines. Okay. Also, what they found out is there's strange symbols carved in the rocks. Okay. And this is the secret group, the Golden Lily, which we discussed earlier. Okay. We touched up a little bit on that. Now, in 1941, he was 12 years old. Okay. This is Grandpa. He was 12 years old. And it says, he said that there was many Japanese that was there. Many vehicles. Japanese cut a road into the mountain. And every night, for 3 months, they took boxes up the mountain. Okay, and they even said they took their oxen to haul these boxes up the mountain, up an old like a mule path or something, might as well say a goat path or a deer path. Okay, in relation to whatever you understand, whatever you can recognize as far as that goes. That's what they said. They went and took it up on. But then, like I said, at some point he said the Japanese cut a road into the mountain. So they took machinery, equipment in there. They started pushing a big road up in there. Why? Because they had so much gold, so much treasure, they had to haul it up in their military vehicles. So even though like he said, every night for 3 months, they took boxes up the mountain. Now he's just talking about them taking them up with the oxen. Okay? Every night, day in and day out. That's all they was doing, hauling these boxes up through that donkey path or goat path, whatever you want to call it. But they had another path that they cut into the mountain. Okay? It was a whole entire road, and they started hauling the bulk of everything in military vehicles. Okay? So what does that tell you? So if they was hauling that for, let's say 3 months, they was taking boxes up day in and day and night. Day and night. Okay? They're taking all this stuff. Now, how much do you think they could haul for that long a time? Because it doesn't take long for them to cut a road with a dozer. You know, I mean, the Philippines, it is kind of a jungle and jungle-ish type tough terrain. But I don't see it taking them extremely long cutting that road in there. When you got heavy equipment, you're going to get where you need to go, period. Unless you literally hit like a rock that machine can't move. And if that's the case, you go around the rock. You know, that's the only thing I could see being the issue. Anyways, okay, so anyway, he said one night he heard a loud boom. And the Japanese, they never came back. Now, what they was thinking is, it's possible that what Yamashita did is, and this is some of the conspiracy theory and the theory on this, is Yamashita, after they got done with building this tunnel with all the treasure and the loot in it, okay, of course they had booby trap, they had things like that, they had let's see here. Let's jump down a little bit further. I had it written down, but we'll talk about the poisons and stuff. But they had poisons in bottles. Okay, I'll specify here in a minute. But yeah, they had like poisons put in bottles. So whenever it was buried, okay, if somebody tried to dig it up, they're going to hit it with a shovel. They're going to hit that bottle, and that gas is going to kill them. There ain't nothing you can do. When you're digging, you know what I mean? By the time you hit that bottle and break it, you're going to, oh shit, you're done. Well, you're dead. You're done. But anyways, back to the loud boom. They think, and what they're saying, their conspiracy theory is that Yamashita literally remotely blew the cave entrance in, the tunnel entrance in. Okay? That way no one could have the gold. And to top it all off, they're saying, they theorized that when he blew that entrance, there was still workers in there that was working on that tunnel. They had no idea he was going to blow that damn thing when they was in there. And he did. He blew it up in there. Blew the ends closed. Then that way no one is getting to that treasure. No one. So, that was their theory on it. Anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to drop down. There's what they call a dig site, okay? There were some treasure hunters later on. I can't remember the time frame. Darn it, it's escaping my mind. For some reason, I'm thinking it was in the 70s or 80s? I don't remember. 70s or 80s. That's what I'm going to go with that, but don't quote me on it. Like I said, I'm not 100%. I can't remember. But they said there was a dig site. It was called Breach 6. Okay, and there was treasure hunters that were digging this out. Okay, Breach 6. The treasure hunters dug a hole and stopped, and they didn't know why. So they was trying to find out why they stopped digging that hole. Okay. Anyway, sorry, these stupid straps are bothering me. But the old man, Grandpa, he told them at this point in time, he said, East was danger. People got sick. He said, Japanese put poison there. Okay, and that's where we're talking about the poison in the bottles. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Now, Breach 6, whenever this investigating team got up there, they got by Breach 6, they was near a pyramid. Okay, that was one of the clues. Okay, that was one of the clues that they had. A pyramid. It said, search for a pyramid, and that's what they did. They found that pyramid. Then they found Breach 6 was close to it, because Grandpa told them how to get to it. Okay, so search for the pyramid, and then after this, they found a heart etched into rock. And the Golden Lily used a heart symbol to show direction. Okay, I don't know how that works. I'm assuming it's probably the point of the heart is pointing in whatever direction they need to go for the treasure. That's what I'm thinking. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because I don't see how the rounded part of the heart's going to point to wherever. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get back to the poison, the gas. Okay, the Japanese favorite booby traps were, and what they set them with, and they were known for back then, was they would use sarin gas, methane, and hydrogen, hydrogen cyanide. So those are the different gases they used. And my God, if you hit one of them bottles, you don't have time to react to that. You're done before you even know it. You're done before you even know what the hell's going on. And that's a very effective booby trap, to be honest with you, as shameful as it is. But and then it says, as far as it goes, like local treasure hunters were killed in the Philippines by the gas. Okay, the people that dug out the Breach 6, I'm assuming that's why they didn't know. They said they stopped digging the hole, and they didn't know why. Well, that's why. They got freaking killed by the damn gas. That's what happened. It ain't because they didn't want to dig more. Hell no. They just got killed. They got killed by the damn booby traps the Japanese set back then whenever they buried it. So, you know, that's a hell of a bad roll of the dice on their part, man. I feel bad. That sucks, man. But anyways, here's some of the Lily Code symbols. So we're gonna talk about the pyramid on the Lily Code means the treasure site. Okay, when they find a pyramid on the rock, carved in the rocks, that means there's a treasure there. Okay, that's what it says. It's this treasure site. Now, so if they have a heart, the heart it indicates directional markers. Okay, for the treasure to guide you to the treasure. Now, the farmer said that the Japanese put poison inside, and all of them died. So I don't understand, because it's just a short note there. I think he might have been meaning back before he blew it up, they put poison in there and then blew it up. I don't 100% grasp on that one. You know, I'm a little bit slow with stuff sometimes, but I would think that's what he's meaning. Like, you know, if he put poison inside, all of them died. Unless he, at that point, maybe he was talking about the treasure hunters. That's why they died. So I'm assuming maybe that's what it was. Maybe I'm getting a little sidetracked on that. Okay. Anyhow, okay. Then the pack horse trail. Okay, they researched the topographical maps, and then they seen the maps of current day. Then they went back and they checked the maps back in that day when all this shit happened, so they could see what difference in the terrain, in the environment, had changed. Was there any paths that was beaten down that could be seen on those maps that was known at that point in time? Because they did, by the way, get a hold of classified maps that were Japanese classified maps at that time, at that point in time. They did get a hold of them. They did, however, find out that there was a pack horse trail that just ends. It goes up and then it just ends at a certain spot. So that was another point where they was wanting to go ahead and look, wanting to search, see if there's maybe another end of the trail. But I don't want to go into the whole History Channel thing too much, because I think what you need to do is watch it yourself so you can grasp what I'm telling you, because it's hard to go through back and forth with all the stuff they had to do. There's a lot of research, a lot of different stuff that they had to do. Okay? You know, they use gas meters, all that stuff, and the holes. But I'd rather you just watch it, and you can enjoy that show yourself. I'm just trying to bring the information to you and guide you to this show so you can check it out, because it's something it's an added-on bonus to check out on top of seeing this story, and to get a little more information and find out a little bit better about this. Okay. They found out it's not a pack animal road. It's a big road. They found out it wasn't a pack animal road. They found out it was a big road. But from the map, it looked like a pack animal road. So that indicates to them they need to go physically check that road out, see how big this damn road is. And that's how they knew how big it was, because they did check it out. But it's a lot. It's wide enough for the Japanese to have taken their military vehicles up through that road. So that's how they know. When Grandpa told them they cut a road through the mountain, he wasn't bullshitting. He meant what he said, and they found the proof. So, they found cement inside of a hole, and they checked because they didn't realize it at first, but they had I think it's like an IR camera, or it was like a heat sensor camera, IR. IR, I think they call it. But they found cement inside the hole because it had the cold spot. And then they went checking through it, because the gas down there, in case there was gas down in that hole, they didn't want to, obviously you don't want to kill your crew. You don't want to just jump in a hole all willy-nilly like and get killed. But And then they found seemingly a cyanide bottle broken in the bottom, which this is breach 6, the whole breach 6, where the old treasure hunters dug that hole, and they died. Okay, so the gas detector was indicating gas down there from the investigators. Gas detector was indicating gas down there, so they knew it wasn't safe. Untold. They also said that this treasure could be untold billions, possibly even trillions, according to what they're hearing about what all they looted, what all they took. They also had, here's another thing on the Golden Lily. They had a box marker. Okay, it was just like a little rectangular box, looks like a crate, was found etched on a rock, and that indicates something. That's all I got. It indicates something. As far as maybe something was buried in that area. Okay. And they said they needed to dig roughly 45 feet. That's a lot of digging. Obviously, they had an excavator to do that. But anyways, now they found out that the concrete Japanese used to make they'd make bunker grade concrete out of a special mix that they made. Okay, so it was extremely tough. It was really solid, and it could hold up to the test of time. It could hold up through a lot of stuff. Anyhow, one last note on this History Channel thing. Golden Lily looted anything and everything. If it wasn't boarded down, they took it. Okay, when the Golden Lily took all that stuff, when they looted all the banks and stuff. Yamashita was put in the Philippines to hide this loot. That was his sole purpose, according to what they say. That was his sole purpose, to hide that treasure and for it to not be found ever, or from people that they didn't want to find. Only the people in the Golden Lily, anybody that knew of it, which was probably few and far between. Only certain select few knew. I could probably guarantee. And at the end of the war, who knows how many of those select few was still alive that actually knew of the treasure? It's hard to tell. So what is your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this episode, you guys? I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, my God, that's a huge treasure. If they're estimating it in the billions or trillions, that's a massive, massive treasure. Humongous. I mean, my God, I couldn't even imagine that much treasure. Can you imagine? I mean, even just to try and think about how much room that gold, jewels, whatever it is, would have to fill. How many square feet or square meters would that have to fill to have that kind of amount of money in loot, in gold, etc. And you know damn well they used trucks, because they like Grandpa said, they used the trucks. They have the evidence. There was a road cut in the mountain. Why would they cut a road? Oh, because they need to take bigger vehicles up with larger loads of something. In this case, most likely a treasure, because that's what we're talking about. But who knows? Maybe they was just hauling weapons up there. I don't know. Let's play devil's advocate. Maybe they was just hauling weapons up there. But if that's the case, why the hell are you going to haul weapons clear up into the mountains in the Philippines, cut a damn road with dozers just to go and bury some weapons, and then take dynamite or whatever and blow up the damn tunnel and cover it up? That doesn't make no sense. Not for just weapons. I mean, maybe I'm sure there probably was weapons in there, mixed in with the treasure and everything, because it would have had to be something very, very highly valuable. Okay? And like I said, the theory says they theorized that they had top secret plans from different governments and stuff that they had looted out of these banks and stuff. They had weapons, they had this and that, they had gold. jewelry. Who in the hell knows what all's in there? I mean, I'm sure there's artworks. Who in the heck knows? Who knows? I don't. I'm sure you don't know either. But we can guess about it. But I really think that these guys that was on the History Channel that was doing that show, I think they were on the right path to finding something. Now, there's a little bit of a tidbit on that as well. I mean, they did talk to somebody that didn't want to be seen on the camera and stuff, and they talked about some, let's just say, clandestine type things, and et cetera, et cetera. But I don't, who knows what to believe, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, it is what it is, you know. But if you want to, I'll be honest with you, I would recommend watching this show. And like I said, I'll tell you one last time, it's called Lost Gold of World War II. And it's originally on the History Channel, but I watched it on Roku. So please, if you get a chance, check it out. I recommend it. And I hope you guys love this episode, because to me, this was interesting to learn about this treasure. I don't remember ever hearing about this treasure. How did we never hear about this treasure? Because if it's this massive of a treasure, you would think that you may have heard of it. I mean, maybe it may have been called different things throughout time, but I wasn't able to pull any of that up. No different aliases for the treasure or whatever. Yamashita's gold or Yamashita's treasure. And that's the only two things that I've found on there. But anyways, I really do appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you watched this through to the end. I hope you enjoyed the videos, or the pictures, possible videos, the music, whatever I compile for the beginnings of these videos. And like I said, if you get a chance, check out my other stuff. I got short videos, I got long videos, I got comedy skits, I got fake commercials, I got historical stuff, I got cryptids, I got paranormal. We're trying to do it all. Okay? So, find what you like. Check it out. I'm trying to do a variety, so that way everybody has something they like. All right? Now, it's me. I'm Fred from the Trading Post. And Noodle, God only knows where he's at. He's crazy. Anyways, from me and Noodle, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great night, day, whatever time of the day or night it is. Enjoy yourselves. You know, live, laugh, and love. Have a great life, because we're not promised tomorrow. You guys have a great night, a great day. Have a good one.